Hello, I am Corey Black, and I will be giving you an overview of the Cat Insurance Corporation data sales from the year of 2017. First, I will give you a little bit of background information. The Cat Insurance Corporation dataset is based on real-life data from a national leading insurance company. The dataset contains more than 65,000 insurance sales records, all from the fiscal year of 2017. And of course, all of the names for the people in this dataset have been changed to preserve privacy. I will begin by going over requirement 2, A and B, as requirement 1 was just to fix errors present in the Excel sheet of the dataset. Requirement 2, A and B, requires me to rank the states from highest total insurance sales to lowest total insurance sales, sort the dataset by sales from highest to lowest. That's pretty self-explanatory, and you can clearly see in this first graph right here, rather, that the sales have been ranked from highest in New Jersey. Being the highest would be just over 1 million, and the lowest, well, dollars, of course, $1 million, and the lowest would be just over $800,000 from Massachusetts. And that about sums it up for requirement 2AB, and on to requirement 2C. Requirement 2C wants me to asks what is the average amount of insurance sold per state. And the average amount, the highest, is from New York with $828.11. And the lowest average sales is from Connecticut with $630.46. Pretty self-explanatory. You can see, go through the graph, that there looks like a fall off right here between Pennsylvania and Virginia. Not sure why that is, but it looks like a sharp fall off. And then about the same for literally every state for a while. It's about the same. And then a little bit of a fall off towards the end. I guess you can expect this with the bell curve. It's higher towards the top, really similar in the middle, and then falls off towards the end. So that's not really too much. And I'm going to go ahead and go to requirement 2D. Requirement 2D asks how many insurance policies were sold in each state. And clearly at the top we have Maine with just one shy of 1,400, being 1,399. And at the bottom, we have Louisiana, the lowest with 1,230. Pretty self-explanatory. This is just the amount of policies sold in each state. You can clearly see it's all of them over 1,000, all pretty close to, so not really too separate from everything. And then on to requirement 3. Requirement 3 requires me to sort the data set by average policy amount from highest to lowest. So the average policy amount, the highest, would be New York with 828.1, and the lowest would be Connecticut with 630.5. Again, we have a fall off here, flatter around here. Pretty nice, just a data set, not really anything too spectacular. Insurance policies, kind of boring. Alright, let's go to requirement 4. Rank the regions from highest total insurance sales to lowest total insurance sales. Which region had the highest sales? You can clearly see Northeast had the highest sales with just shy of $10 million. Not too bad right there. $10 million is a lot of money. And now we have the lowest average policy amount. The lowest sales, and what was the total dollar amount? Lowest sales here in New England, we can see just over $5 million. Not bad. $5 million is still a lot of money. I'm going to go ahead and go to requirement 5. Requirement 5 asks who is the leading salesperson in each region. And you can clearly see each region is set out here. We have the region box right here, the key. And you can see it's color coded. And it goes by the most amount of sales in the Northeast region. And again, the least amount of sales in New England. And you can see the highest sales person in each region. For the Northeast region, we have Matt. For the Southeast, we have Jennifer. For Midwest, we have Dave. For the West, we have Peter. For the North Central, we have Mario. And for New England, we have Sarah. All this pretty great, pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to go ahead and move on to requirement 6. What is the total dollar amount sold for each type of insurance? Well, by region, we can see the total dollar amount for each type of insurance is very clearly easy seen. Insurance type: professional, blue; auto, orange; home, red; disability, light blue; and life green. You can see that by far the most type of insurance sold is professional insurance, And again, since the Northeast region did have the most sales, it would make sense for them to have the most professional sales as well, with just over $3.5 million. And then the lowest, right here, we have $855,000. Still a lot of sales. This is life insurance is the lowest, and followed by disability, home, auto, and professional. And that is the same distribution for each region. You can see. And this clearly this graph just shows the leading from leading to the least most value of the insurance policy types by region. Pretty easy to see. You can see all the values. And the interesting part of this is the trend that professional insurance is the most for sure. And life insurance, I guess people don't care if they're already dead. Then why would you even need life insurance? People don't really care about that. I guess it's more of a secondary insurance to have, or maybe even a tertiary. Considering you need to have auto. A lot of Americans like to drive cars. That's how Americans get around in general. So it makes sense that auto insurance. It's also required to drive. So makes sense that it's the most. And then home, people like to live somewhere. People like to have home insurance just so if their house or valuables or anything gets stolen or destroyed, they can have it replaced. Very, very important. Disability, see, I think this is more of a secondary insurance because, I mean, this is a big threat. If you can't work, you can't make money, you can't feed your family. Really important, but not a lot of people think about that. It's actually a really big issue in this country. We don't really have we have a big healthcare issue. So, and without good healthcare, even one accident, if you're not working, and then you also have a huge medical bill, you're pretty screwed. So, disability insurance definitely important in the United States. All right. Well, that about sums up this graph. I'm going to go ahead and go on to requirement 7. This is just a map for each state and total sales. You can see Florida, my home state, sales just shy of $1 million. And this one is it's a little bit darker, but it's actually towards the middle. So you can see on my scale, the lighter states have the least sales, like North Dakota, New Mexico. These are light, so they have less sales. And the darker ones, like New York, are the higher sales, just over 1 million. Ohio, again, just over 1 million. So this actually makes it easy to see. You can see this region, up here. This is probably the Northeast region. They're all pretty dark. The New England is, these are all pretty light. So that would explain why it's the least. That makes a lot of sense. Just looking at the graph and the geographical breakdown of the insurance sales per state. Southeast, pretty middle of the pack. A little bit lighter, especially here in Alabama. They don't have a lot of money in Alabama, just the state in general. So it makes sense that insurance wouldn't really be a high priority. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and just give you general trends that I can see in the data. My favorite graph that shows trends is this graph right here, requirement 6. Again, I've already touched on this briefly, but you can see professional insurance. This is clearly a trend that is the highest among every region. Life insurance, another clear trend that is the lowest among every region. Pretty, actually is a really cool trend in almost every region. The home, the auto and home is just about neck and neck, almost the same in every region. This shows that a lot of people are kind of bundling together their home and auto. They're kind of saying, well, I already have one, may as well get the other. It's kind of like a package deal, if you understand kind of what I'm saying. Disability, a lower type of insurance. Makes sense that it's sold, again, in the United States. Bad health care, so it makes sense that you need disability if you can't work, you can't feed your family. Again, but it also is lower, so people are less concerned about that than they are concerned about protecting their business. Very interesting to see that people are actually much more concerned about their business than even their own home. Interesting. It's a lot to have auto insurance to drive your car. You need it, so it makes sense that it's one of the higher ones. And that I think that about summed it up. I've touched on all of the requirements. I've talked about the trends. Again, this is a really good graph. It just shows you really where the regions are and how much they're spending on insurance. You can see the sales. Really thick right here. Really light around this area. Also around this area, kind of light. Light in New Mexico. Light up here in New England for sure. And yeah, that about sums it up. So thank you for listening to my video, and I hope you are more informed about insurance. Alright, thank you.